Finally, back to my hillside logging map. I don't know why I say finally, because I'm the one that's controlling what I play and what I don't. But I decided I want to come back to this map, and it's kind of on a 2 episode rotation. It seems like that's what I've been doing: 2 episodes of this map, 2 episodes of that map, and just to keep it fresh, I like changing it up for myself. But I decided I wanted to come back up to the hillside here. You can see we got the landing cleaned up. That's why I'm standing here. That's why I wanted to get at. I want to say that the landing's pretty well cleaned up. I can't remember how we left off last episode. Ideally, all these videos would be in a playlist, but I haven't done that. So if you wanted to watch all the videos of this one map and watch it progress, you could, or whatever. But it's been a little while since we played here. I think we have quite a few bundles here already for the skidder to pull down. I think I want to make a couple more though, just because I got the fella buncher up here, and I'd like to put together a few bunches. Now, the last episode, I decided to widen my roadway up here a little bit, make a little bit more room. So that's why we're cutting these trees here, because we made it. You see, I got a bunch up in front of us there. We made it all the way up there at one point, but then I came back and decided I wanted to make the road a little bit wider here. So that's what I'm doing now. This tree is going to be a little bit of a trick to get to. There we go. Might be a little bit of a stump there still, but should be fine. I'm going to lay these down right here. This will probably be the one bunch I put together. Some of these big trees I just like to grab as ones, because they're tough to get into a big group. I hate when that happens too, when I drop in and it messes up the pile. Go. Anyway, I'd like to get up the hillside here and get it a little bit more cleared out, but we only get so much time in each episode. We gotta kind of keep it cleaned up as we go. Oh, I thought I was a little closer than that. It's funny because one of my videos I was loading with a loader, and I couldn't believe that after I loaded the whole load, that right at the bottom of the pile I had some logs sticking out of one of the bunks, and it was at the bottom. I would have had to unload the whole trailer to fix it, and I just assumed that it had glitched through at some point, but turns out I just did a terrible job loading it. Go. Get these stumps knocked down here. It's just funny that I don't know what I focus on, but I focus hard on certain things and not on what I'm trying to do. Like my eyes get fixated, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. I just can't see where my problem is. Just putting a nice grind on my saw here, that's all. Making sure it's nice and dull. Grinding it into the dirt. I imagine it's probably a pain to sharpen one of these. I don't know how they sharpen, if they got removable teeth, or if you sharpen the teeth that are on the blade. I imagine the teeth are removable, but I'm not sure. All I know is it can't be good to be driving it into the dirt. I said I was going to do the one pile, but I saw this opening right here. I couldn't resist going in all these small trees here. You can really fill up the buncher head with all these small ones. Let's keep going. That's probably about as many as I can fit in here. I'm gonna go stack them on top of all these other short ones. Then we'll go get the skidder and see if we can get some of these pulled down to the landing. Take up. There we go. One of those trees isn't quite. There we go. One of these trees is not like the other. Huh. Frustrating. Just cut it off. It's going to create problems, I think, when we go to grab all this with a skidder, but we'll deal with that when we get there. Seems to be a lot of the way I play is I cause problems, and then it ends up just screwing me down the road. We'll park this over here. This is something I've learned also too, that this is how you can park a fella buncher so that the saw isn't into the dirt, because it's got a protector on the back here. Oh yeah, look at that. That's how the FDR model here is so well modeled. You can see how the teeth attach. There's a nut here, and the tooth bolts on like that. But anyway, as I was saying, the back of the saw is protected, so you lay it on the back like that, and it's not into the dirt. We'll run down the hill here. I don't like switching through the equipment because it seems like it always takes forever. Maybe I should figure out how to up my run speed, kind of like how I've seen other people do. But usually we don't have to go that far. The fella buncher's just up in there a ways. Oh, I forgot we had the caterpillar skidder on this map. I think in the next update, there's going to be a cable skidder. This skidder here could be a cable skidder. It's got we got going on here in front of me. This skidder could be a cable skidder. There's a place for cables on it. Or I should say there's a winch on the back that could be used. Make it so it can be used as a cable skidder, but I generally don't use it. Don't use a winch. Get those out of the way. Some of those will drag down the hill as we pull more. I'm gonna have to get rid of these ones on the corner here. I'm just gonna get the butts straightened up here a little bit with my blade. Can't quite see anything. See if I can zoom in here. I'm zoomed way out just because generally that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to see a little bit more of the area, but it's not bad. They were just a little bit closer together. Maybe I can get up to the top here and push them down a little bit, bump them into that tree. All we got to do is just straighten them up so that they're a little bit easier to get in one pull. There we go. Now, in real life, I feel like you probably won't have to deal with this quite so much. I mean, yeah, you'd have to make sure that your trees weren't sliding out of the grapple on you. But the trees also wouldn't be like ice on the ground either. And that's what it feels like here sometimes. The trees are like they're on ice. I can get... I think those are in there. Famous last words. There's not they're not in there by much, but I'm just watching in third person here to see if it's gonna fall out or not. Yeah, I think as long as I take it easy, they should be okay in there. Now this is my only dilemma right here, is I don't know. I gotta keep pulling these farther so that I can get more down the hill. I guess I'm just gonna have to block my piles here. I can always come in with my log loader and restack some of these piles once I start processing, or before I start processing. I can kind of move them around. That was one of the things. I don't know if I had mentioned it in the last video or not, but I had everything when I cleared out the landing here. That's what all these logs are for, is when I opened the landing up, I moved the piles to right there, and I knew that when I started pulling trees down the hill, they were going to be facing the other direction, 90 degrees from those, and it was going to mess the piles up. But again, it wasn't a problem at the time, and it was a bridge we were going to cross later, and now we're at the bridge, so we've caused a problem for ourselves. But luckily, we're not doing this for a living, so being a little inefficient is okay. It just means we get to play the game a little bit more. That's one thing I'm struggling with, I would say, is setting my landing up in an efficient manner. If I was using a forwarder and a harvester, it'd be a little bit easier, because I could just haul the trees down with the forwarder and stack them wherever I wanted. When I get a full length tree in the grapple of the skidder, I gotta kind of. I only got so many options as far as how much I can move it. Some of these trees here, I don't mind them here on the side though, because I think it just makes it feel a little bit more realistic, a little bit more brush laying around. That's what I think of it as. I've been playing on the Swamp Logger map with the Tiger Cat, and the Tiger Cat skidder is kind of hard to see out the back of. So I've been used to changing my camera angle. And I think I definitely want to get away from that. I'd like to stay first person the whole time, but some machines it's just not possible when you can't move your head, lean side to side, stick it out the window, whatever. Makes it a little tough. Got quite the clearing up here. I was trying to decide if I should build a road up here. Let's see if I can bump this pile with a grapple. I don't know if that's a normal thing to do or not. I'll do it. Normal thing to do is hit it with the blade, but it might be close enough there where I can get it with the grapple. Yeah, look at how wide that thing opens. One thing I wish is I had a way of steering this, and when I got to a certain turn, the like if I turned like this, like the machine would stay turned, but I had to just hold my steering thumbstick right where I want it, try not to move it. Now, I was playing the other day, and I was looking at different mods to download, and there's a forwarder, a timberjack forwarder Unfortunately, it's not a FDR forwarder, so it doesn't work the greatest. It's operates very similar to a base game piece of equipment. Marginally better, I would say. It's got things on it that the grapple works a little bit better, but not by much, I would say. But the interesting thing about it, the reason I bring it up, is because it has a feature on it. It says allow fields or create fields or something like that. And you turn it on and it starts almost like the tires are like a plow or something. It turns something on the tires so that anything you drive over, it leaves like it's almost like you paint the ground like a mud texture. And I believe it's a plow that comes on, and that's what is doing it, but I don't know for sure. But either way, it doesn't I don't think it would be great all the time. But what I do think it would be good for is while you're playing, you could turn it on, because you don't have to have it on all the time. That was the nice part about it, was you could turn it on and off while you're playing. Like your first couple trips in through the woods, or your first trip, you really don't need more than one, I don't think. You could turn it on and give yourself a road, a more realistic road. And so that you could have some tracks to follow when you're coming in and out of the road. Now, this here, you can see it. I got tire tracks on. You can see I got quite a few tire tracks. But the tire tracks cause, for one, having more tire tracks on while you're playing causes more lag. Two, they go away eventually once you get so many on the map. You can only have so many on the map. They disappear every time you start the game. Your old tire tracks are gone. It just would be better if it left the mud mark. It's literally like if you just painted the ground in stripes, except for it's the exact right width of the machine. I don't know. I think it would be worth it. At least, like, I could turn it on coming up that hill. Maybe up here, you just leave the lighter tracks, but going up and down that hill, you'd have these nice mud marks. I don't know. I think it'd be cool anyway. To kind of straighten up these logs here. It looks like these ones are kind of a mess. But I don't know what to really do about this, because I got those two trees in the back there that are... I'm not going to push this whole pile back for those two trees, but... Oops. Give that one more little shove and we'll pull this group out. I definitely I'm getting better with my piles. These piles were earlier piles that I had made, I think, and I think my piles are a little bit better now. Are they coming? We did something. We'll see how many we can grab here, and whatever falls out we'll just have to deal with. That's one nice thing about cable skidders. You don't have to worry about the logs falling out of the grapple. It's a little bit more tough to do. I did play with the cable skidder. Well, I should say, the base game grapple skidder, the John Deere, when it first the game first came out, I tried using it, and obviously the logs just fall out of that grapple. I don't know why. It was broken at the time. Maybe they fixed it now. See if, come on, roll up here. Might be too many trees. Yeah, one's sliding right out. If we can re-grab them here a little bit farther back now that they're kind of bunched together a little nicer. So anyway, the base game grapple skidder sucked, but that's the end of the story. But it also had the same winch that this FDR skidder had on it, and that's what I ended up using a lot of the time. Was I just never used the grapple, I just used a winch on it, and it worked pretty well. So I thought about doing that with this, but the grapple kind of works, and so anyway, I just interested to try the actual cable skidder when it comes out. I was hoping to clean up all my piles there. You drop these out here, and then I'm going to blade these all up into a better pile. Oh, look at that. I think all of them stayed in. I don't know why my trees get tied up in such big knots right here, but they seem to always be tied up in knots when I drop them off here. Let's see. How many piles do we get left up at the top here? Give it one more pull, and then I'm going to process some of those trees. I'd like to get some... I was hoping to load a full truckload in this video. As I've said many times, it's generally a goal I have is to get out one log truck load in a video, but it seems like maybe I'm going to have a tough time doing that in this video. I'm just going to get this tree moved over into this pile. I should be able to get that end straightened up, match the rest. Seems like I always run out of time, but at least to keep it in the half-hour range. Maybe I'll get all my trees processed, and next video will be a loading video. Turned around here. It looks like I only have 2 piles after this one. I don't want to get too many trees down at the bottom there. These trees here might even put me over the edge, but I'll give it a try. Oh. Yes. Oh, there we go. Lost one, but that's a heavy bunch of trees. I'm actually kind of got me doing a wheelie here. See if I can pull it in a little closer. So they get a little bit of less leverage on me. I'll have to come up here with a mulcher and get some of these stumps knocked down. I see everybody. There's a new mod out for. It's like called Clean Farms. Look at, I can't even turn because I'm in such a wheelie. But Clean Farms or something. I haven't looked into it yet myself to see. But I guess you can clean up all the stumps automatically. which is nice, but I do like the fact of mulching them up. That's why I'm doing a wheelie, because the trees are sliding through the grapple. I have to call that good right there. Yeah, that's fine. Hit that with the blade and we'll walk the processor over here. Probably should grind up some stuff. Maybe we won't quite get to processing these. Back this over here. There we go. So I got some tops right there I got to grind up. Probably should do that before I start making more of a mess. I always like to start with a clean area before I destroy it. Just delete it. It's funny how sometimes that happens. You catch it just right and it just deletes. Seems like it's been happening more recently to me, but there we go. I'm probably gonna just back this off to the side here and all that good. I was debating on whether I wanted to drive it up the hill, but my water. Now, I'm not sure what I prefer still, if I like the fixed head or this dangle head better, but we'll keep using this one for now. And to see what 6 meters. I must have been cutting those other ones 6 meters. Well, I said I was gonna. Somebody commented and said that they thought that 6 meter logs were worth more than 7s. I know that means nothing because the Giants is the one that sets that up, but that's what I'm gonna cut these is, or at least I'll start here with. I'll start by cutting some 6 meters here. Then maybe I'll switch over to longer logs. Don't know what my issue is here. I should study to see how other people cut logs, because I feel like I should be able to see where I'm dropping them. Like, maybe I should just move down the pile a little bit more. Or maybe I should move back this way. This is probably it. I probably should move over here, and then I can kind of see what I'm doing. Maybe I was gonna say I always forget how far these things here can reach, but Jesus. Struggling. If this had, if I could set it up with 2 foot pedals, like an excavator, it'd be a lot easier. But I was gonna say, I always forget how far this machine here can reach. It's quite quite a bit of reach on it. I don't think I get enough there to get it in the rollers, but still feel like I'm doing something wrong. We'll figure it out, though. I don't claim to be a professional logger operator. Well, we got a little bit of a pile started here. Still got a big pile here to deal with, but I'm gonna start doing that off camera, and I'm gonna call this episode. We'll get back to it, and next episode we'll be loading trucks, getting trucks loaded up. So hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.